Well, I don't think we're going to enjoy seeing that orb since I'm like a half an hour late with the first clip of the day and there's no orb. And I've been sitting right here for a little bit. It's not in yet. I should go up and speed it up, finish getting it in, but I sat here and watched a couple calves amble their way up the lane. They finally got out of the way, so I'm betting they're the only two. I don't see any more from here. Locked them in. Now everybody's down there crying and complaining. But this looks like we might actually get moisture. I don't know. Oh, excuse me. Number 2 worked late last night, so there wasn't much sense in trying to get to sleep at my normal time because she usually comes in and wants to fill us in on her day when she works late, which is usually 11 o'clock when she gets home, maybe a little after. But since I sat here and trying to catch up on YouTube and some messages and stuff, there was no wind when I come out of the trailer. Literally opened the gate here and closed the one to the barn and sat down, and we've got I don't know. Oh, now it just changed again. Now it's in my face, so now it's out of the east, kind of the southeast. For the last 5 minutes, it's been out of the west, right up my back. You even see stuff bouncing around over there, blowing the twine around on those hydraulic lines. So I've just been waiting to see what today was going to bring. It's supposed to be a 60% chance of rain today. Last time we had an 80% chance of rain and got absolutely nothing right here. So we're either going to get soaked, maybe get some shop work done. Yeah, right. Or it's going to be just like this all day. I don't know. We'll see. What I do know is I should have got off my ass a little sooner and drug the little traveler out, because it might have been in about the same time as that one if I'd have been out here my normal time. I'm still going to go do that. I need to do that. It don't matter if that one up there has another half an hour or an hour to it. The little one still needs to get going. So, yeah, there's the first 3 minutes of my day. Wasted 3 minutes of your evening. I didn't make it very far with the other bike. Wet tires, mud. So I had to go get the old workhorse. She's loud and muffler shot. She runs good when she wants to run. She likes to cough and sputter a bit. And I got another 10 feet. Had to unhook it. Luckily, this one's got a winch on it. So I'm going to run the winch out and pull that thing up here on the flat because I just can't get it up the hill. Yay. A strange sensation, and you can see it on the insulator. It's like there's moisture in the air falling on me. Little tiny drops of moisture. Wow. Ron got a hold of me a little bit ago and let me know that it was doing a little more than this about, 15 miles northeast of us. So we'll see what happens, eh? This old girl, she runs good when she runs, but she's a pain in the butt. Looking some moles now. You can tell everywhere he's been. I got one over there this side of the traveler. Actually 2 of them down there. Found a gopher on the hillside over there, below the barn. All fresh, I don't know where he came from. And this little bugger, he came up again, so I figured this was a good hole to try. It's kind of in the middle of where I knew we'd been working. And sometimes you get lucky, they'll come off the main tunnel and be really short, and that's what all of them have been so far this morning. This is like maybe 3 inches from the hole down into the main tunnel. So it's going both directions. Going almost over to the base of the hill over there. And obviously through all the pipes over here. And I think he's probably had enough smoke by now. That would be rain up there. It's a real heavy mist. Almost rain here. 9 o'clock. So I guess that 60% chance of rain coming through. Whether it's going to do anything or not, we'll see. Timing is everything. I didn't see that bale fall, but the horses ran out of the barn when it did. I saw that, and I saw the dust. It was up there on top. I was just coming back here to get that out of the way so I can get to the crappy stuff beside it. Yeah, now I only have to pick one up at a time, not two. Finally finished feeding bales. 3 of them here, 1 of them to the steers, 4 of them to the other group. All the cows were in. Yeah, this 2/3 of this barn. And the funny thing is, she went in, asked them to walk out, and they all walked out. And they have all stood here patiently until right now. Yeah, I think that's a yearling heifer. Yeah, it is. She's the first one to walk in, and the last bale, and she's just finishing pulling the twine on it. How's that for timing? That never happens. Oh, by the way, that rain, mist, whatever, yeah. You can see what the ground looks like. Time we got down with the truck down there to feed the other group, it was done doing it here. So, the whole time we've fed's been dry as a bone. It's still raining up on the hill, though. Is what it is. I got a bad feeling though, because where it's raining is where we haven't been yet with the combine, because we haven't been out of the yard yet with it. And I've already heard from some other guys that the oats were falling out of the holes early, which means there's probably nothing left. Frickin' wonderful. And of course, raining up there, definitely. Once the drops hit, bigger drops, it knocks them out if they're loose. So we're going to find something to cut to make straw out of. And that's probably all we're going to get. So it's been a real nice couple of years for that shit. I'll play a little catch up. It's muggier than the hell out there. They say it's 75 degrees. No, it ain't. We were 80 degrees an hour and a half ago. So I'm going to say it's in the mid-80s. Getting some of the stuff cleaned up out of here. Number 2 brought home what was left of the exhaust on a little tractor they have at the vineyard, or the winery rather. That's the exhaust off a little Ford. And yeah, I know that's not straight because the cut's not straight on there, but that collar is perfectly square with that flange. At least it's as close as it's going to be. Looks like it might be off a little bit over there, but that don't matter. It's a little kicked maybe. Whole piece of pipe there. That was a stack I made for the 3394 when we first got it, because what was on there was rusted out. It used to be painted black. Actually, it was high temp black. But, you know, that stuff burns off eventually even. So I cleaned it up. It is just long enough to do what she wants to do. And it's going to go in there like that. Hopefully, it's going to be all right. That's a piece I cut off. I needed a piece. I don't remember what it was for now. I conned Tom out of a chunk he had. And this is about 1/3 of the collar because I cut it off. I remember doing it. And happened to be a set screw spot right there. So that's a low spot. So I V'd that out. Leave that for a drain in case any moisture does get in. Because it might be parked outside part of the time anyway. I think it usually is. They can dribble out that hole. I just won't weld that hole up. And with the pipe sticking up there, It's got to get a lot of frickin' water down that all at once in order to actually get it in there. So that should do it. Oh, now I'm going to see if I can splatter the hell out of myself, because that stingerly does not like coming around this side of the welder. So it doesn't feed as it should. Acts like I got a bad ground when it's doing it. Spurts and sputters, but it's not like I can move the bench out there and do it. So, see what happens here in a little bit. It might be clocked a little off, but it's pretty damn close. I don't think anybody's gonna argue, especially the one that runs the tractor. Yeah, it's meant to be off, right? But before I finished welding it, when it was all tacked in good, the side of the tube and the face of the flange were parallel all the way out. So if it walked a little, it couldn't have moved much. Now, clean it up and see what I got for some paint. At least make it look good for a little bit, right? And no, I'm not going to clean that up. That's all stitch welded way back when. It ain't going nowhere. It's character. There it is. I used what was left of that paint that I used in the exhaust on the sprayer. It said 2 light coats and 1 medium coat. It got 2 kind of heavy light coats and 1 lighter coat. That's all there was. Well, it can sit there and dry. I don't know if she's working tomorrow or not, but she can go run it out and put it on the tractor tomorrow, then it's done. It's not like it hadn't been sitting here for a month, right? Here we go. Get you a picture of the neighbor's new tractor. I think that's the same flail he's had for a while. It's a big rears. Goes on a 3-point hitch. They busted it up out here years ago and brought the pieces over, fixed them up for them, and we were hoping to make it bulletproof at the time, and maybe we did. I don't know. Haven't heard anything different. I think they got that tractor last fall, right after they were done with everything. Actually, they traded a old Case IH off on it. They got to keep at least one around with a PTO on it for that mower. It's the only thing you need it for. And I don't know if that may be the only John Deere he's got now. He's got 2 Case IH quad tracks. One of them's up the road working, got the disc on it. They've been using the chisel plow the last few years, but it was the disc that went by today. So, and I'm smoking moles and gophers. And yeah, they said 75 today. That's what my app on my phone says it is. Yeah, bullshit. It was 85 a couple hours ago. Then the sun came out. And you already saw the extent of our rain today. That was our 60% chance of rain. 10% tomorrow, 10% the next day. I don't know if you can see how rough this hillside is. This is all from gophers and moles. Remember, every time they make a void underground, eventually it settles in. Every time they push a hump of dirt up on top, like those right there, grass grows on top of it eventually. So you get the humps and the dips. And honest, this is the worst the place has been in years. Part of it is, it seems like these drought years, things don't settle evenly. And when you get the water on it, you find out where the spots are underneath. Mainly been like the last 2 or 3 years when it's been really dry that it gets that way later. Oh well, I'll probably end it here. It's almost that time. That one gets in tonight, I'll shut it off, figure out where to move it next. I thought about it earlier, and I know what I was going to do. I'm going to go to the end of those pipe down there and run it across the bridge. Probably with the cows in another field tomorrow where it's going to go to. Because they need to get moved. That little tiny triangle just doesn't hold them for very long. Oh, anyway, there you go. Big fancy John Deeres. There are a few of them around this part of the country. There's a lot more big red ones though with tracks on them.